No KFC in a compound, except for the Colonel, of course, a young Maroon chief looking to chart a new course for Jamaica's original freedom fighters and melting hearts on social media along the way.
ER in cockpit country, narrow roads perched on sudden drop hillsides, a compound ahead, steeped in history, but little to show for its maroon origins. Some old folks kicking back in the shade, but the township as sleepy as it gets. No KFC up here, except for the Colonel. An energetic newcomer with big plans to shake things up, and also something of a social media rock star himself. Richard Currie, the Maroon Lionheart.
Maroon was the catalyst towards emancipation. We are leaders of liberation, right? We stood up and fought against the common enemy.
You
right?
also worked with the English to return wayward slaves.
No, so runaway slave had the option of remaining with the Maroons.
All very well and good, but look around. Is a compound really on the cusp of a rustic renaissance?
We obviously need to now start looking at bringing investments in here. To do that, you need proper infrastructure. So we need roads, we need water, right? We also need telecommunication services.
His big theme is sovereignty of land, sovereignty of the people. What about Andrew and Jamaica House, one wonders?
I actually greeted him, I shook his hand, you know, and he said to me, we're gonna fix it. So I'm still waiting.
But you're not waiting, you're deciding that you're going to fix it.
That's what I'm saying, we're still waiting. That doesn't mean I'm waiting.
There's a small museum. And drummers ready to put hand to hide. There's even a tiny library with computers for kids paid for by overseas donors, but nothing to suggest what he calls sovereignty.
Government is free to come along for the ride depending on how we engage. That's the point, right? The point is how we've been engaging over the past 200 and odd years has been short of what sovereignty would dictate.
So you figure you're independent. This is an independent state within a state?
Correct. It's well not state within a state. It's an independent state.
So the Jamaican government has no jurisdiction in a compound?
Not without the permission of the state. That's how it works.
And how it works here, at least according to Currie, is that the Colonel calls the shots.
He's the head of state. So he is the person that would ensure that the duties and responsibilities assigned to him to take care of the resources and the people of the nation are done with due care, you know? So just like a prime minister would look over his land, I shouldn't even say prime minister look over his land, but you get what I'm saying.
And he's been saying a lot, even getting a write-up in Forbes magazine, no less. Currie with a degree from the Mona School of Business, leaving corporate behind to focus on transforming a compound, which before COVID brought in some US dollars from the occasional busload of visitors, augmenting what little folks here make from farming. Not much economic activity, it's quiet here, but you want to get something going. So who is going to come in with that cash?
So of course people who are looking at us, right, looking at the culture, looking at the heritage and looking at the people, right, we're very unique, even though our landscape is unique. This is cockpit country.
What do you have to offer though, as like, you know, okay, tourists are supposed to come and I guess tourists are supposed to leave some tourist dollars. But that's been happening and the tourist dollars haven't made a difference.
Correct, because it has been done in a structured way. We haven't had an agenda, we haven't had a vision.
What is it that you're going to do in the short term to really shake things up in sleepy a compound?
It's all about structure, trust, credibility, organization. I mentioned those because all of those would have been missing in the past, right? And the identity of the Maroon and sovereignty, that's another big trigger for me and for my community, right? Because I think this is now coming to a crest. This is now coming to the surface where we need to have some serious negotiations, some serious conversations, right, about the sovereign people of the land and the corporation that is Jamaica.
But your sovereign people vote in Jamaican elections, so they're a part of Jamaica.
Well, let me ask you this question. You have dual citizenship? we have a treaty with the British, not the Jamaican government, all right? Let's get that straight. I'm not trying to tear down government, I'm not trying to bring a surface or another war, right? What I want is Maroon's fair game, right? Fair game at trade, commerce, diplomacy. The misinterpretations that have grown into the common lingua over the years has now overtaken facts. So that's why every time Maroon talk, you see a bag of mercenary push out of the blues. And pew, 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 them start shoot, a beer blank them a shoot.
So the first thing that's going to change under your sort of rejuvenated leadership is what? What's the first thing that's going to be different about a compound?
So I'm going firstly after the water project, right? Because we haven't had running water, for decades, right? And to be honest, it's a basic essential. And we have so many springs and rivers in and around the cockpits. We supply 40% of the island's fresh water supply, and yet we don't have running water. Isn't that an irony? It's just not making sense, you know? We're a big farming community and we depend on the water, you know. I'm a man of action, so I've already have experts coming here and started looking at our water catchments and where we have springs. We're looking at two options right now, a short-term and a medium to long-term solution, right? It all depends on the funding.
Currie claims there's lots of interest from investors. Can you name any of them?
No, I can't. So until I have something in hand and that's tangible, then I would be able to convey that.
But your best bet is to get more visitors to come up here.
Correct.
But a lot of people will come just to have an interaction with you. Your female fan club is huge. Everybody's focusing on the Colonel.
You know what?
They should make posters and distribute in Kingston, and you know, people would buy them up. Apparently, the women are mad for the Colonel.
Hear what now, Anthony? To be honest, while I welcome all the attention, you know, truly flattering, because I've been around, nothing is different about me right now. But let me tell you, the opportunity here for me is then divert the attention to the cause. You understand? Because I don't really make that get to my head, you know. I guess the other greatest thing, you can hear me rooster them all over the place and I country me there. So I'm not in there. You understand? I'm here focusing on the job, you know.
So you sound well-meaning, you sound like you're energized and you're ready for the job. So why are people like L.A. Lewis saying that you're a carpetbagger and that you're only into it for the money and this and that and whatever?
Everybody's free to say what they want to say, Anthony. You know, public opinion is public opinion, you know. You choose what you take on as a leader and you know what to let go of, you know. Credibility is a big thing for me and my government and what we're trying to do here.
Like, me need a passport for go down there. What me need? Somebody from a compound can call me, please.
So you have a message for all your legions, your growing legions of female fans out there in Jamaica?
Yeah, keep supporting the cause. You're going to hear much more out of Richard Currie, not only about a compound, but also amongst his peers. There are many lovely young men in the Maroon community, and they're all here waiting to see you as well. So.
But as far as menus go, Currie is off the menu for them.
Anthony, we can't manage your style, you know, easy. All right, if I say you want to put it, Anthony, we can put it that way then.
Anyway, new Colonel in town with a plan and a profile. And for these folks, their best bet in a long time for a better life.
Sleep on Stagger Coach. Me used to sleep on Currie Coach, them and they never left me out.